I mean, do Leaf fans ever get good news? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I woke up today and I was like, oh, come on, man. And I don't know about you guys, but I was really wondering this. Like, I was really sitting here being like, is he okay? You know what I mean? Like, is he all right here? Because I have been watching Auston Matthews very closely this year. Well, not at the very beginning of the year, but the last couple of games, very specifically, I've been keeping a very close eye on him, and he has not looked himself at all. Like, he has looked really, well, I don't want to say terrible. Now, to look at this another way, I did see an individual on X who made some pretty good points that he has had a lot of defensive zone starts, and when you start in the defensive zone and you're buried in the defensive zone, naturally speaking, you are going to score less. But that doesn't mean that he should be scoring this much less. I mean, starting in the defensive zone that's a fair point if you're used as a defensive player, but I mean, he's on pace for 30 goals. I mean, that's just Leaf fans. I mean, we've gotten used to seeing Auston Matthews. He scored 69 goals last year, and we have gotten used to that. I mean, taking a step back is fine, right? Maybe he would be on pace for 50 goals or something like that. Being on pace for 50 goals is, that's a step back, but it's fine. A lot of people were assuming that the Leafs were going to take a bit of a step back offensively and maybe their stars. I think that Berube needs to use Auston Matthews a little bit better. But anyways, long story short, Auston Matthews is dealing with a day-to-day upper body injury. So I'm just hoping that this doesn't turn into something more serious, obviously, because I hate it sometimes when a day-to-day can turn into a week-to-week, and this is the problem with NHL teams, is they're never completely honest with what's going on with these guys. Anyways, hopefully that's not happening, but at the end of the day, the Maple Leafs have really got to get on some kind of winning streak here. I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching this team, and they have just been spinning their tires like crazy. They looked better. Well, I wouldn't say it this way. Let me put it this way. I think that they looked better under Craig Berube. Like, visually speaking, they look a lot better. They look, I would say, more organized. They look like they're a team playing with a purpose. That is definitely true. They look like they have purpose when they're playing. Playing under Keefe, they would hold on to the puck a lot. At least Craig Berube is trying to make a point of helping them get to the inside. But honestly, even now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching the Leafs, and they still struggle with this. Now, you're not going to cure a bunch of issues for years in 10, 20 games or whatever. That's not how it's going to be. But, obviously they are trying to fix the issues that are ailing them. But I don't know. Out of the big three, Marner, Matthews, Nylander, I think that Matthews has had the worst start to the season, up to his standards anyway. I mean, Nylander's been pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think lately, especially, he's been dancing, man. He's been all over the place. And yes, I know, the playoffs, I get it. I totally respect that. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just, he's just looked really, really, really good to me. He's looked all over the place. But I think that Craig Berube, when it comes to Auston Matthews, needs to change things up. So my suggestion would be this. We know that Max Domi can play really, really well with it. Now, obviously, I'm saying this when Auston Matthews returns. It's just day-to-day, so, I can't imagine he would be in that bad position, but whatever. So when he does return, what I would personally do is very simply, I would put a second or first line, whatever you want to call it, of Nylander, Matthews, and Domi. I would put Domi on the left side, obviously. I'm telling you, Domi plays really well. I would, number 2, give Auston Matthews that line. I would give him a ton of zone starts. I would start them in the offensive zone like crazy and watch them dominate. Then I would put Marner, Tavares. I might consider putting a Bobby McMahon on the second line. I know that sounds a little bit outrageous. I probably would stick with Matthew Nyes on that line. So you have a Tavares, Nyes, and Marner line. I would consider maybe Bobby McMahon, but I think I would keep Matthew Nyes there. By the way, Matthew Nyes has been really good. But let's stick talking about Auston Matthews. If you don't have Auston Matthews going, I think they'll still squeak into the playoffs, but you have got to get this guy going, because what are you going to do? What are you going to do if he's playing like this in the playoffs? You're going to be cooked. It's weird because a lot of coaches, well, you have Keefe, you have Babcock was like this too. A lot of them, it's weird. Keefe almost changed up the Leafs lines too much. And now Berube, it seems almost too stuck on certain lines, and Babcock was like this too. I would like to see them try a lot more different things. And we even see this on the power play, man. They have been terrible on the power play. So you could make the argument that it's also the power play that's holding back Auston Matthews, because he might have a couple more goals right now if the power play was doing anything. Absolutely anything, but obviously that's not happening, so whatever, which is very unfortunate. But if you have a terrible power play, you have a team that isn't scoring like they used to. I'm going to tell you straight up, man. I know this is supposed to be more centered on Auston Matthews, but if the Maple Leafs did not have Anthony Stolarz, and by the way, I remember saying, and I was right about this, Anthony Stolarz is the Maple Leafs starter, okay? That's it. If you didn't have Stolarz, they would be below 500 if they didn't have Stolarz. So thank that guy. And he's only getting paid $2.5 million too. Anyways, I'm going to leave this Auston Matthews video here. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Tell me why I'm wrong and tell me why I'm right as well. And have a great day, guys. Goodbye.